Yo, yo, welcome to Strangle School. I'm Josh Moody. Today we're talking about our basic closed guard sweeps, following up with that hip bump sweep. It's gonna go into a guillotine and a Kimura. Stay tuned, Strangle's incoming. Sideways. So Mike's got his hands on my hips and I can't have that. I gotta get these hands to the floor for this sweep. That's my cue. So I'm gonna reach up, I'm gonna grab behind his elbows, and I'm looking to rotate them outwards. At the same time as I do that, I'm gonna pull my knees to my chest. Okay? Mike is gonna do one of two things. Either his elbows are gonna come to the floor, or his face is gonna go to the floor. Or probably hit me. Hopefully he puts his hands on the floor. Okay? So I rotate these elbows, and let's say he can't get his hands to the floor. His whole body is going to topple. So most people, not wanting that, their hands go to the floor. Perfect. As he starts to build his base back up, I grab that wrist. I sit up, and I'm trying to trap his shoulder with my armpit. I build onto this elbow. Okay? I go from a closed guard to an open guard. My feet go to the floor. I build up to my hand, and I'm using this arm, my left arm, squeezing that arm to my ribs to keep me here. Okay? My feet go to the floor, my knees pinch on his hips, and now I'm looking to kind of climb into his lap. Okay? I'm trying to send him backwards. So I'm trying to climb up into his lap. Now I'm going to go around the corner, but you see he's got a post right here. I'm going to clear this post and come around the corner. I pull his elbows open, just a touch, just a little bit, pull my knees to my chest. Oh, there it is. I sit up, I build up to my hand, my feet go to the floor, I blast him with my hips. Okay? The more I can blast him backwards with my hips, the easier this is going to be. You saw his weight go backwards. I don't want him on his knees here. I want him already tipping. Okay? Now let's say this hand didn't come down. All I would do is bow all the way around the corner. And that would be awesome. And against a naive grappler, that'll work. Most good grapplers start to post with this hand. I try and send, he posted with that hand. I'm going to put my palm right on the back of his elbow, and I'm going to pull his elbow to my pocket. And now I can pull my sweep. I get nice and low in the mount. I'm going to put a grapevine in, hips forward, pop one of his ovaries. It's going to be great. All right, so we're in closed guard. I rotate these elbows out. I pull my knees to my chest to get his hands to the floor. I grab his wrist. I sit up. And now, let's say I just can't quite get off the floor. I feel like I can't budge him backwards. Oh, he's too heavy. I'm going to fall back to his wrist. I'm going to reach around his arm. Okay, so I come over the tricep. I'm going to grab my own wrist. And I'm going to take my thumb out. Now, as I fall to my back, I'm going to start to climb my legs. So I'm shrimping out so I can face his head. I grab his wrist, I sit up, and my sweep's not there. So I fall back. I take his wrist, I clear it off the floor. I grab my own wrist, no thumbs. I'm going to push with my left leg, or with my right leg, to escape my hips to the right. And I go from facing the camera to facing his head. And I'm going to close my guard over his far hip. My elbow goes on the back of his shoulder, and I'm going to make his hand touch his head. Wow. Pull those elbows, knees to chest, hand to the mat. I sit up, I try and go for that sweep. It's not there. That's why I come around the arm. Okay? I even put in the back of my wrist in his elbow. That's going to help me bend it. Okay? Boom! I clear that hand off the floor. I pull my thumb out. And I use my right leg to to send my hips to the right. Now, I don't want to stay at this 45-degree angle with him. I actually want to keep going. I want to be at more of a 90-degree angle with him. Now it's a lot easier for me to bring that arm up. When he's 45 with me, I'm kind of doing an awkward motion for my arms to bring him up. The more I can hack myself offline and stare at the back of his head, the easier it's going to be for me to twist my body. Because I'm not trying to just use my hands to push. I'm trying to keep this tight to me and twist my body to make his hand touch his head. Okay. I clear the arms. I sit up. And now, I can't. Maybe he tried to tackle me back. I'm going to scoot my butt back. What that's going to do, it's going to make space in between his shoulder and my chest. Bring this hand right here for a second. Okay, if I keep my butt here, there's no space between his shoulder and my chest. So I need to scoot back just a little bit. So now I get my hand in the space between his shoulder and my chest. Okay? Put this hand back. I reach inside that space. Actually, let's leave that hand there. I'm going to curl my wrist up. Okay? So I'm closing the other side of his carotid artery off. My forearm is on one side, my hand is on the other side, and I'm going to grab the meat of my own hand. I'm not trying to do any traditional grip. It's like I'm karate chopping the wrong side of my palm, the back. Okay? I grab the knife of my hand. I fold that up. I grab the knife of my hand. Now, when I fall, I don't want to fall straight backwards. Okay? I want to keep my shoulder on the back of his neck, and I actually want to fall towards his head so that now I can close my guard over his far hip. I need to rotate a little bit. So I clear his arms. I sit up, I try and go for this sweep, and I feel him pull back into me, so I scoop my butt back really far. Far enough so that I make a lot of space in between his legs and mine. You gotta remember, he's driving into me, so he's trying to take all that space back away. I'm gonna bend my wrist up to close the other carotid artery. I grab the meat of my hand, pinky side, I close both of my elbows, and I roll my shoulder back to touch my shoulder to the back of his neck. Okay? Now this is actually the side of this. Let me see. My shoulder touches his neck, and I'm trying to fall sideways on top of his head. I'm twisting these elbows. Okay? It's kind of neck cranky, but shh, nobody will notice. It's a guillotine, I promise. I drive this elbow down, and I fall that way. I do not fall backwards where his head can start to slide out. My shoulder touches his neck, I fall this direction, and I close my feet over his far hip. Okay? I don't want to be flat on my back, I want to be on my hip. Now the old school methodology, we used to push him away with our legs. What I actually want to do is make his chin touch his chest, and it's going to make this a lot tighter for me. So I'm going to pull my knees in, rather than pushing out, where sometimes their head pops up. I clear those arms, I sit up, I go for my hip up sweep, it doesn't work, so I scoop my butt back. It's important that my shoulders are in front of my hips, so I don't just fall to my back. My hand curls up and covers the carotid artery. I grab the meat of my hand, pushing my hand into his carotid artery. My elbows go tight to my chest. I fall on top of his head, and I close my guard over his far hip. Now I'm going to pull my hands to my chest and pull my knees to my face. This is a nasty one. Real nasty. Thanks for swinging by the Strangle School. Hope you like these basic techniques, add them to your repertoire, and strangle everybody. Unless it was the Kimura. And then break their elbow. It feels like a shoulder, but trust me, elbows are weaker. This time and every time, thank you for being here.